Hey everybody, this week I'm going to tell you everything I did. Well, not everything. I'm going to tell you things I've accomplished this past week, including getting my grandmother's treadle machine back, working on a quilt, and the updates to my progress on the van slash mobile quilt studio. When I took the machine in, I didn't realize that there was no bobbin case. And the serviceman said, "You don't have a bobbin case?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't even look. I didn't know I didn't have a bobbin case." So he was kind of hesitant. I thought maybe he wouldn't take it. He said, "I'll go through and see what I can find." He said, "It'll be like a needle in a haystack." And I said, "Well, I can Google it if that helps." And he goes, There are just so many." But I was lucky and he found the right bobbin case. I know it looks like it's dirty and gross, but actually it's not. I thought so too when I got it back. But it's actually cleaned. It's just really old and really worn. Of course, as soon as I set it up, guess who? Little Miss Sprinkles had to check it over head to tail. I think she maybe thought this was a new toy, a big kitty toy. But lucky for me, I have this cover. I guess this is called a coffin treadle machine, which is an awful name. Okay, I was super excited to try this. How hard could it be? And then it unthreads, or the thread breaks. I'm not sure which. But it works because that is the test run from the sewing machine guy. He had it working. So I'm gonna try again. Woohoo! Ooh, automatic backstitch when it's unasked for. And of course, the belt came off. So I don't know if that means the belt needs replacing or I just don't know what I'm doing. Right now, I would say, as my mother would say, it's probably operator trouble. I do have a new belt. As you can see, it's on the upper right hand side there, still in the bag, just in case. And here we go, here we go, here we go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Keep going. And there is no thread in the needle. I'm thinking my grandmother was an amazing person, even more than I thought before. I think I'm going to need to get a needle threader for this too. The eye is very small in the needle and my eyes are old. Okay, 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 here we go. I don't know, is this painful to watch? I think I'm going to practice without any thread in it. All right, now the mobile quilt studio update. So I took out all of the paneling. There was paneling on the front as well. And then this thing rattled so much that I decided this thing has to go. And man, I had stripped bolts. I had to get my little Dremel tool out and cut it off. And it took many hours getting those bolts off in the floor, on the side, on the top. Oh my goodness. And now it is heavier than heavier than heavier. It's like it looks light and flimsy, but it is not. I was thinking this thing's gonna fall to the ground and take me with it. Plus, it was 90 million degrees out. It's been a long time since I had sweat dripping from my nose, from my forehead. I had to kept stopping to get my glasses cleaned because the sweat was on my glasses. Oh my goodness. But I didn't give up this either. Now I'm going to remove the floor. First, I wasn't going to remove the floor. I thought, well, I'm just going to put the new floor on top of this. And then, of course, I was doing my YouTube research, and people said, no, no, you better look underneath, make sure there's no rust. And I thought, this van has hardly been used. There's not going to be any rust. Guess what? What happens when they go to drill, like to put the plywood in, the little shavings of metal fall down inside the van, and those shavings start to rust if there's moisture in the van. And then because they're laying on the floor, they start to rust the floor. And I found two tiny little patches, which I forgot to take pictures of. I'll show you when I'm sanding and repainting those. But I'm so glad I took this flooring out. Plus, it's going to be the pattern for when I cut the plywood for the plywood floor. So, and you can see there's lots of sawdust on the floor and lots of, well, not lots, but a few of those metal shavings. Plus, plus I found a couple little tiny holes where they drilled through it, like to hold that that big thing out that I just hauled out. So when they did that, you know, I already had carbon monoxide poisoning once from a vehicle. I do not want it again. So I'm so glad because I found a couple little tiny holes where they had drilled through, and I will need to patch those. And right now I'm taking the wheel well protectors off. Yep, one of those high humidity, high temperature days. But now back to quilting. If you remember, this was where I left off, and I said I was going to embrace the face. So I'm embracing the face. This is what it looks like. I thought, what if I use that pot upside down for her neck? And then I use the top of that same block for her flower crown. And then I thought, what if I use the blue one for her neck and the blue one for the flower crown? And then I thought, what if she's holding a vase with her left hand? So you see, it's just pure fun. And speaking of fun, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you who are watching, liking, commenting, sharing. I just hit 175,000 views on YouTube this past week. So big, big thanks to all of you. Thank you for being here. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I hope to see you next week. Bye for now.